Good morning, YouTube. I wanted to speak today about why I paint. And I had the opportunity to grab breakfast with a good friend of mine who has experienced the loss of his spouse this last year. And um, it gave me some time to catch up with him and kind of share my story and listen to his and think about loss and also the things that we have to be grateful for. And I felt like it was clear to me that I wanted to talk about why I paint today and like what's the inspiration behind most of my work. But even, I'm going to turn 46 this year. Why has art been such an important part of my whole life? Why didn't I just completely quit at some point and do something else? Why is this still such a big part of me? And why do I see it probably continuing to be part of my story the rest of my life? So I want to start by just saying that as a kid, I think I've shared this before, that my earliest memory of art was when my grandma was babysitting me, and one evening, to kind of pass the time, she took out a piece of notebook paper and a cup and some crayons and pencils and things, and started making these overlapping circles with the cup, just tracing around it, and showing me how you can color in the different pieces of weird shapes with different colors and have it turn into something quite interesting, as well as she did a couple little very simple illustration drawings. And I was amazed by it. And so through elementary school, whenever I was alone, which felt like a lot, to be quite honest, I felt like I was alone a lot, partially because I think I was a quieter, shyer kid, but I would find myself intrigued by the world around me. So I'm a young person, I'm trying to soak it all in, every place that we go and all the things that we're seeing, and my own backyard. And so I had the world around me, but then I had like all of the movies and cartoons and books and Disney, Looney Tunes, Marvel, He-Man, Transformers, had all these stories of pirates and buried treasure and elves. And so whatever I was seeing in the world, I was also seeing these stories. I was trying to figure out, are some of these things real? And I would want to basically kind of draw these characters and kind of bring them to life. And then when I got to watch Bob Ross and Mark Kistler and anyone else that was doing any sort of art at that time on TV, they were showing me how to take these imaginary worlds I was living in and bring them to life, right? And I was like so intrigued by the process of that. And so as I'm getting older, I'd say from 3 years old to 18 years old, that whole season of my life was this constant exploration. And when I was having a hard time based on what my family was going through, art always provided this opportunity for me to kind of withdraw and kind of escape into these fantasy worlds. And I got fairly proficient at it to the point where my peers would affirm my ability to draw. I think possibly the earliest memory of that would have been 5th grade. We all had to do portraits, and both the teacher and my peers recognized my ability to make a portrait ahead of where the rest of my peers were at the time. So not only did I enjoy the process of doing it, I also got recognition from doing it. And in high school, my art teacher was fantastic. She would take us on these trips where we'd go to Seattle or Tacoma and be running around all day long, having some freedom, to go and sketch the city, And so that and like trips to Pike Place Market or the Seattle Art Museum or any field trips that I went on or any day trips or places my dad would take me on the weekends. All those places, I wanted to capture them and record them and use art as a way to do that rather than like a camera. So that was all very interesting to me. And initially I thought I would be an art teacher, and I got discouraged about the pay around that. And then later went to animation school thinking that I wanted to be one of the people that made the movies, and realized I didn't really want the lifestyle of the animator, even though I really liked the art. And so it wouldn't be until 2018 when I started painting again that I saw the fine art world open back up to me. Because between the time I graduated in 2009 until 2018, a lot of what I was doing was more graphic design and branding focused, just because I could get paid work that way. But in 2018, getting back into traditional mediums and learning how to apply what I learned in animation school to the traditional mediums, I had a lot of fun doing it. And I had this initial question of, if I have strong drawing ability that I could potentially make anything, what do I want to make? And then the second was the style in which I want to make it. And so I started off going through my art history books and realizing that I really liked the Monet, Van Gogh, Impressionist, post-Impressionist period. And then going through my phone and seeing what resonates with me as a person, it was still all of the places that we had traveled to over the years, and these moments that are so beautiful or so fun. Could be a basketball game, or could be a really nice restaurant. Could be Vegas. Could be the Caribbean. It could be all these different places that I'd get there and I'm like, wow, it's really, really amazing. And so I had plenty of subject matter, and I kind of had an idea of where I wanted to start stylistically. But the more I did it, because I was working these other jobs, I was working in ministry roles at the time, trying to help other people. And you'd hear a lot of really difficult stories through that work. And you get to this place of emotional fatigue that a lot of people experience in a lot of different fields. And I found painting to be this also place I could escape to and recharge and reflect. And I felt it was so therapeutic for my own person, my soul, my spirit, just being able to be refreshed in those times so that I can go back out and help people. And then the art started selling, and people started affirming how beautiful it was. And when you literally have a few thousand people doing that, and then they start asking you if you'll teach, it's really a beautiful way to affirm a gift and potentially a calling of what you should be doing with more of your time. And so not only do I love it, but I feel like I have a place in this little world. And I think as I've gotten older, the world has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And studied how big the known universe is, and so it's this unfolding process that happens from childhood up until you get older. The world just starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start learning more about history and people groups and other cultures and languages and different cuisines around the world and art styles and movements, and all of it to me is so fun to be part of. And I really just enjoy the process of making things and sharing them with other people. And I think the one thing that's been present the whole time is my desire to um, give these to people, or sell them, whatever the case may be. But that I don't own it anymore. They own it now, and they are getting to get enjoyment from it. Um, I think, the things I've been focused on the last several years for painting have a lot to do with all of that. But the big point of all of it is that I wanted to show my love to people and remind them that not everything in the world is always bad. It's not always hard. There's not always loss. There's also some really beautiful moments too, and capturing a beautiful moment in a painting that gets to be in someone's space and alter the feeling of that space, to me is a really special thing. And it's why I want to continue to get all of these ideas out and onto a surface of some kind and be able to share them with other people. I love the process of doing it, so it's fun for me. Number two, I got to pay back these pesky student loans, so it's definitely a business for me too. But I think the most important, impactful part of it is how much it blesses other people to own it, and how happy you see them when they get something that they really love. And it's so special. And so I'm grateful to be able to do it, and I hope to be able to do it for a long, long time. And, sitting with my friend today, hearing about loss and grieving, every day is a gift, and we do not know how many days we get to have here on this beautiful, amazing planet. But while we're here, we can make some stuff, and we should. And super honored to be doing what I get to do, and looking forward to kind of what the future holds. But I've in a tagline kind of a format, I have just called it Inspire Life, and that's what I'm trying to do. It's the reason why I paint. I want to inspire life in other people.